following program brought to you by the Grill Master. Welcome to the show, Backyard Grilling with the Grill Master. This is my backyard, and I am the Grill Master. On today's show, a little different type of scenarios with a pork shoulder. So we've done a pork shoulder. We're gonna take some. We're gonna make a creamy coleslaw, and then I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways to serving that pulled pork. And then I'm gonna show you how you can do if you have some leftovers. But first, we're gonna start with our pork shoulder. What we did was we put it in a brine overnight. We took a quart of water, put it in a big saucepan. Make sure it's a big saucepan. We took a quart of water. We took 1.5 cups of salt. We took 2 cups of soy sauce. We took a 1/4 cup of honey, a 1/4 cup of molasses, and 1/2 cup of sugar. And you put it all in that quart of water and you mix it. You let it, you stir it really well, continuously, while on medium to medium high heat, and then until it comes to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, you shut it down, and then you let it cool down. Once it gets cool, then you take your pork shoulder, about 3 to 4 pounds, and take a knife and just slash some holes in there in that pork shoulder. Just doesn't have to be sliced, just poke some holes in there. Basically what you're doing, here and there. And then you take that pork shoulder and you're gonna put it in that brine. Once it cools down, remember the brine has to cool down. We'll put it in that brine, and then you add about 1.5 gallons of water. So that's what I'm saying, you need to make sure it's a big pot. You're gonna add 1.5 gallons of water. You put your pork shoulder in there, cover it up, and refrigerate it overnight. Then once you're ready, the next day you come out, and just like here, I put my heat over here on this side. I took some hot mesquite coals, and then I took some wet wood chips to give it that smoky flavor. So you can do that. You can use some apple chips. You can use maybe some pecan wood, just something to that effect, a little sweet type of a wood. And put it on your hot coals, and then just let it smoke for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then once you get that, it depends on how heavy your smoke is. Once you get it done, once you get that pork shoulder smoked, then you're gonna take it out. You're gonna wrap it in foil, throw it back in there, and then just let it cook. It took probably roughly maybe 2 hours or so. It's about a 3-pound shoulder, so it took about a couple hours. But I had it at a little high heat, because once you have it wrapped, your smoke flavor is already there. So all you have to do is just add heat to it to let it cook. That's basically what you're doing. It's not gonna hurt it or anything. So we've got that done. As you can tell, it's ready to go. Now we're gonna come over here. I'm gonna do. I took this recipe. I'm not much on barbecue sauce, but once in a while I like it, especially if it's like a pulled pork or chopped beef type. But so on this pulled pork, I'm gonna do a Carolina type sauce, barbecue sauce. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna start good on that, and we're gonna go from there. All right, so we're gonna do our Carolina barbecue sauce. And what I've done is I've taken a quart of apple cider vinegar. I got in my big pot here, getting it warmed up, because we're gonna cook this. And then I'm gonna take about 8 ounces of ketchup, or so, maybe a little bit more. About 8 ounces of ketchup, something like that. Then we're going to take some crushed red pepper, about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Then we're going to take about a 1/4 cup of sugar. Put that in there. And then we're going to take about a 1/4 cup of salt. Just regular old table salt. Then we're going to take about 1/8 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce. And the same with the soy sauce. And same with some molasses. All this about 1/8 of a cup. Then we're going to take some tomato paste. And let me get a spoon here. I'm going to take some tomato paste. Also about 1/8 of a cup. Cool. And then we're going to take about 2 to 3 tablespoons of dry mustard. About like that. Then we're going to start stirring this, getting it all working together here, all these full flavors. And the thing about this Carolina sauce, it's a liquidy type sauce, so you know, it's not thick. So, but what we'll do is we're gonna let it come to a boil, and then we're gonna turn it down to simmer for about 10-15 minutes, and that'll thicken it a little bit, because it's, you know, a quart of apple cider vinegar is quite a bit. But we get this stirred up here with our whisk. Then we'll bring this to a boil, and then we'll turn, like I said, turn it down. We'll simmer it. We'll let it cook for about 10-15 minutes, you know, and just kind of check on it. And all this, you know, you ingest your taste to it. You know, see what you think. Might a little less red pepper, more molasses, or whatever. But we'll get this sauce going. Then we'll get our pork shoulder. And I tell you what, I'm excited. That brine is really, really good on that pork shoulder. So we'll get this done here in a minute, and we'll go from there. All right, now for our coleslaw, first we're gonna make the dressing. Okay, it's we're gonna take about 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise. And then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of sugar. Then we're going to take a teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground white pepper, and then we're going to take a tablespoon of milk. And then we're going to get our whisk. And we're going to whisk these ingredients here together. Then we're going to set these aside. Once we get these ingredients here mixed, careful there, don't make a mess. But once we get these done, we're just going to set it to the side, and then we're going to finish. Oh, I'm sorry, we got to put the juice of our lemon in there. Just 1 whole lemon. Put that juice in there. I knew I had that lemon there for some reason. So, but anyway, like I said, we get this mixed real quick, just like that. Pretty simple. And then we're gonna set it aside. It's gonna be our sauce for our coleslaw. So, get this out of the way. We'll bring our board over just a little bit. And we're gonna take our great Thomas knife here. You know what? I need to use that vegetable knife. Anyway, we've taken a head of coleslaw, a cabbage, a head of cabbage, and all you gotta do is just, you know, that center part, just get it out of the way, you know, and then just take the rest of it, just chop it finely as best you can. You don't have to use all of it. You can use however much you want, depending on how big your head of cabbage head is. Let's just try to thinly slice it as best you can. That's why it's good to have a real good sharp knife like these Thomas knives. You get down there at United, get your groceries, get your stickers, fill up your little booklet. Just go pick one out and you're ready to go. So, but just one more little piece then, I think would be good enough. So you take this cabbage, put it in your bowl here. Some of the stuff here is from that core, that middle core. Pretty. Don't need that in there. Anyway, we've taken a red onion and I've chopped about half of it, pretty fine. I'm gonna take that, put it in there. Then we're gonna take this carrot, which I've peeled. I'm gonna take a cheese grater and just grate this carrot here into your mix. And again, you know, however much you want to use, a whole carrot. If you don't like too much carrot, you know, mostly, you know, it gives some flavor. It also gives it color. So, but I'll probably use maybe 3/4 of it. I don't think I'll use the whole thing. Get that out of the way. We'll get our tongs here. We'll give this a little toss. Not too much, just a little bit, kind of get it mixed. And then we'll take our dressing and just pour it all in there. Now, your dressing, once you get it on here, you get it mixed, get it all mixed up, tossed, whatever you want to call it. You know, you taste, and if it needs a little bit more salt, you add some salt. If it needs more pepper, you add a little bit more pepper. But you know, just adjust the flavor, adjust the flavoring however you'd like. But and another thing about the coleslaw, it'd be great to kind of do it, get it done early, and go ahead and put it in the refrigerator and let it cool down really well. Don't have to, but it's either way, it's gonna be real good. I promise you. So anyway, whoops. Cabbage trying to get away here, but that's good enough right there. Not too creamy, not too dry, just the right size. We're gonna cover this up, put it in the refrigerator, and then we'll be back and we'll start working on our pork shoulder. All right, folks, our pork shoulder's ready. Tell you what, I am anxious. So this here, our barbecue sauce is ready. Of course, we got our coleslaw ready. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to serve this pork shoulder. Now one way is pretty obvious, you know. It's usually what everyone does is we take, I'll show you here in a minute. We're gonna tell you, man, that looks good. Golly. We've got some hamburger buns, and we're just gonna make us a nice little pulled pork sandwich, okay? And we're gonna serve that with some coleslaw, just like that. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this pork shoulder. Look at that. This falls apart. Okay, just like that. Now, you get a little bit of this, and what you do is just get you a bowl, and you put that shredded pork shoulder in there, or pulled pork, or whatever you want to call it. Then, I'm going to take this barbecue sauce right here. We're just going to pour a little bit of it in there. Then we're going to toss our pork in. Get that full flavor in there. Then just go from here right over to our bun. Just like that. And look at that. Get that. Get some of our coleslaw right there on the side. Woo! Can't beat it. There's one way of serving it, ladies and gentlemen. Got a pulled pork sandwich with some coleslaw. Now, another way of serving this that I've come to like and enjoy. I like pasta. It's good for you. And but I got is what I did is earlier I took some fettuccine pasta and got it cooked. Now I had it in my refrigerator. Now over here I've got some boiling water, so I'm gonna take some of this pasta, put it in that boiling water, let it cook real quick, then we'll put it on this plate. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we got our pasta here heated up. Like I said, I had some boiling water over there. The pasta was already cooked. All we had to do is just heat it up. Just come over here to our plate, spread it out just like that. Like I said, it's just something a little different, and it's really flavorful. I guess I could have used a little bit more pasta, but that's good enough right there. I'm just letting you show. I'm just showing you what you can do. Now we've taken our pulled pork again. We put it in our bowl. Added some of that barbecue sauce. Now all you got to do is just take that pulled pork and just put it right there on top. Just like that. Tell you what, that right there is a full meal right there. Can't go wrong with that right there. Now we have some pulled pork left over. I'm going to show you what to do with that. Alright, with our leftover pork shoulder, what we've done is we kind of shredded it coarsely, not very fine, just coarsely. You know, make sure we left some big pieces like that, and you know, refrigerate them. Then, you know, a day or two later, you take them out and you can make a roast with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take half this pork, put it on one pan, then the other half in the other pan. It's one of those, too much for one, not enough for the other. Well, we might have enough for both of them. One of them, yeah, I think we'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be just fine. So anyway, then I've taken some red potatoes and cut them up cubed and just put some in there. Probably about 3 of them. Looks like, kinda, sorta, a little bit. Now, and I have this, you know, that's the thing. We're always, you know, we're always cooking, grilling, doing things. I have pieces left over, so just get some of this red onion. About a quarter of it or so. Just put some pieces in there. Just cut it there. Just like that. Yeah. Take some carrots. Cleaned them. Peeled them. And maybe 1.5, 2 or so. So once we get our vegetables cut up and we've got our leftover pork shoulder in our pan, we're going to take our saucepan here, put a little bit of olive oil in there, then we're going to put a little bit of flour, not too much, maybe 1/4 cup. Don't want to cook it, don't want to get too brown on you, but you know, just kind of watch it, you know, whisk it pretty fast. Then we're going to add some water to it. And you can do 1 or 2 things. If you add this on there, then you can add some more water, or you can add a little bit of water and you can add some barbecue sauce. Just, you know, if you had some when you cooked it and you had some of those juices left over from the meat, you know, put it in with the meat. That way when it thaws out, juices are there. You know, that'll complement it really well. But just like that, pretty simple. And myself, I'm just gonna pour this roux over it, kind of like that. And I'm gonna be using some water. And then we're just gonna cover this up with some foil. And then we'll throw it on the grill. And I tell you what, that is one really good leftover pork stew. Put it on that grill about 375 for about 30 minutes. And should be ready to go. Alright folks, there you have it. We got our pulled pork and our brine and smoked. Then we have our Carolina barbecue sauce. 2 ways of serving it in a sandwich with some coleslaw or over some fettuccine noodles. I'll tell you what, man, this is just, it's simple, but it's a great meal. And of course, showed you how to do our leftover roast stew with our leftover pork shoulder, and that's, you know, on it. It's cooking right now, so it'll be a little bit, but like I said, won't be too long and be ready to go. But I'd like to thank you all for watching the show. I appreciate all you fans that come up to me and tell me how much you enjoy this show. I tell you what, I've had more and more people come by. I really appreciate it. And I tell you another way you can. Another thing you can do for the show is make sure when you go see the sponsors, tell them the Grill Master sent you. Be sure and tell them that. I know they'll enjoy it and they'll appreciate it. So it's really great, you know, all the United families with United Market Street Amigos, you know, our friends down there at All Seasons Property Care, you know, Jared down there at Flynn Hat Company. I'll tell you what, man, this hat, I love it. It's really great. So I really appreciate him. And Cactus Creek Firewood, don't forget, go see Scott down there on 1585, 4 miles east of the Tohoka Highway. You can see all this information after we get done with the show. You know, don't forget, go to my Facebook page, like it, send your comments, your recipes, your suggestions, whatever. Let me know. Let me know. That's why I'm here. And don't forget, go to that YouTube channel. Go to my webpage, grillmaster2011.com. Go to that YouTube channel. Check out all the videos. This week, next week, maybe it was last week, I don't remember. But we'll be having the whole show on YouTube. So go, be sure and go check it out. And so you can see the whole show. I know I've been putting up some 5-minute videos and quick videos and stuff, but now it's gonna be the whole show from start to end. So I'm really excited about that, especially for all my friends that don't live here in Lubbock, down in South Texas and Central Texas and all these other states. Just I'm excited for y'all, so you check it out. And and everybody that watch, all my fans, all your family and your friends that don't live here, also let them know so they can go check it out. It's gonna be really great, so I'm excited about that. I went to the printers the other day. Recipe book, it's on its way, it's coming on. Still looking at maybe late spring, early summer. Hopefully maybe by the end of May or so. We'll see how things are going. It's going really well. I'm excited, so don't forget, grilling, chilling, and good eating don't get better than that. And like my dad would say, mira, this is really, really cool. No, that's not what my dad would say. My dad would say, mira, listo. Backyard Grilling with the Grill Master, brought to you by these proud sponsors.